Hey, Coach Colin Castella here with ShopMechanics.com, and welcome to another episode of the Ask Coach C show, where you ask the questions and I give you the answers. This week we got a few great topics. We got coming back from an injury, we got the ball coming off your middle finger using the palm rotation technique, and we're going to talk about how to keep your form consistent. All right, so first question comes from Doll2341. And they want to know, I've been injured for 3 months with a neck injury. I've not been able to work out, so I'm trying to get back in game shape and to get my game stroke back. But what drills should I do and how long should I do them? Keep up the good work. All right, first of all, phenomenal question, and I'm really happy you asked it, because this is something a lot of people deal with. If you play basketball long enough, you're gonna get injured at some point in time. It's just a matter of fact. I mean, I injured my shoulder yesterday at an open run. So it is really important how you come back from an injury. So great question out of the gate. So I would say number one, to get your stroke back, you're going to want to do a lot of form shooting. And it's going to be really important for you to reevaluate your mechanics, because most of the time your body's naturally going to want to do one specific thing, So like me, I was a chicken wing shooter growing up. My body just naturally wants to let my elbow go out to the side. So I can drill, I can work, I can think about it all the time to get my elbow in. But if I got injured and I came back, and it'd been a long time since I shot, most of the time your body's going to revert to its natural state. So, if I was a chicken wing shooter and I got injured and I didn't shoot for a long time, I'd probably go back to my chicken wing as soon as I got back onto the court. So number one, you want to reevaluate your mechanics and make sure that you're doing everything that you were working on before you got injured. So that'd be the first thing. After that, you can do all sorts of good stuff. You can do like form shooting, you can do free throws, basically kind of controlled situations where you're working on your mechanics and getting that muscle memory back. That's probably the next thing after reevaluating your mechanics. A couple different types of form shooting that I really like to do. You can do the classic one-handed form shooting, two-handed form shooting. Those are all well and good. I also like 10-foot form shooting, which is where you get kind of about 5 feet closer than the free throw line and you shoot two-handed form shots. So it's a little bit further out than your standard form shooting. So it kind of forces your muscles to actually kind of get more snap on the ball. You can do bounce ups where you bounce the ball up in front of you, let it bounce, catch, two-handed form shot right next to the hoop. All that sort of good stuff. So I do a ton of form shooting, ton of free throws after you reevaluate your mechanics. And then once you do, then I would go back into getting a lot of game-specific reps, right? Game reps, game speed, things that you're going to get into the game. So hopefully that answers your question on shooting coming back from an injury. All right, and the next email comes from Twigsies2, and they say, "Hey, Coach, in one of your emails, you talked about middle finger shooters putting their hand on the side of the ball to get more accuracy. How can you do this while still making sure the ball comes off your middle finger / dominant finger?" All right, so great question. A lot of people don't really fully understand the palm rotation concept, and it's something that a lot of middle finger shooters, especially in the NBA, use to keep the ball on their middle finger, but also keep the tension out of their wrist and their shoulder. So the idea is this: as you're coming up to shoot with the basketball in your palm, in fact, I'll just grab it. So the idea is, as you're coming up to shoot, if you're a right-handed shooter, you're going to keep the bat, or you're going to keep your right hand on the side of the ball. So if I'm a right-handed shooter and I'm coming up to shoot, my right hand's on the side of the ball instead of tucked underneath. Just because if you're a middle finger shooter and your middle finger's in the center of the basketball, it gets a little cramped on your wrist and sometimes in your shoulder trying to get the ball in tight like that, getting that elbow in. So what a lot of shooters do is they come up with their right hand on the outside, and then as they start going into their shot, they rotate their palm around to lock as it's coming up. So as the ball comes up in your shot, you rotate your shooting palm around, lock, and then you follow through. So the idea is, it doesn't really matter where your palm's at when you start your shot. It doesn't matter if it's on the front, if it's on the back. Really, it only matters where it ends. So as long as you finish on your follow through and your palm's facing towards the ground, that's really all we care about. And so it's just an idea of releasing the tension before you get to that spot. I'd recommend trying to get your palm around into the back if at all possible, just because it keeps things in alignment longer. But it's definitely doable to keep it up the side, rotate around as you bring it up to your set point, and then snap it forward, palm down. So in short, that's kind of the way that you can use the palm rotation on a middle finger shot. All right, next question comes from Ryan Ahmed, and he wants to know, how do you keep a consistent shooting form, like drills? I'll be able to shoot really well one day, and then I'll lose my touch the next. All right, thank you so much for watching. And don't forget, if you want one of your questions answered, leave it in the comment section down below with the hashtag AskCoachC. You can also ask me on Twitter, Instagram. I'll start bringing stuff in from there as well. So yeah, if you got a question, leave it in the comment section down below, and it just might get answered next week. Again, I'm Coach Colin Castello with ShotMechanics.com. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to tune in tomorrow for our NBA shooting secrets.